Hello, leaders. Dr. Patrick Jinks here, leadership and strategy coach and president of the Leader's Perspective. You want to make strategic planning super easy? Well, what if I told you there were only really 2 days that actually matter for your organization? Would that make the planning any easier? Cue it up. Okay, if you stayed through the intro of this episode because you thought I really did have a superhero shortcut of some kind to strategic planning, well, I have to tell you in full disclosure that you might be disappointed. However, stick around and see if this simple framework does make things a little easier for you and your team to think about your organization's future. I have a framework that I occasionally use with our clients. Sometimes it's actually even useful in a one-on-one leadership coaching scenario as well. I simply call it the 2-day strategy. Think about it. If you could set up a strategic plan for your organization with only a 2-day timeline, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Okay, so here are the 2 days, today and tomorrow. That's right. Think about your organization and what's on the plate for today, and then articulate what's on the horizon for tomorrow. Now, of course, we're not talking about a literal 24-hour time periods. When we say today, we're talking about all the things you're currently facing in your organization, things on your work plate right now. That could be anywhere between now and 3 to 6 months from now. What are the things you and your team are intensely tracking right now? What are any gaps or issues that you're needing to address right now? What was your board talking about at its last meeting? What are the things consuming your calendar for the next couple of months? Those are the today things. Those are the things that Eisenhower or Covey might call the urgent things. Things that are upon us right now demanding our attention. Some of them are actually important as well. Some of them might not be, but that's for another episode. Today's strategies are important because we're in the midst of the work and there's still time to get it right, maybe even make it better. Having a clarified today strategy keeps both urgent and important things from falling through the cracks. But what about tomorrow? And of course, every time I ask that question, I think of Bill Murray's character in Groundhog Day asking, what if there is no tomorrow? There wasn't one today. And he's right. We are not guaranteed a tomorrow. But if we don't plan as if one's on the way, I think we all know what happens next. So if today represents all the things our organization is currently facing, tomorrow represents the things further out on the horizon or beyond. Tomorrow represents our dreams and long-range goals, but it also holds some surprises. I'm personally a firm believer in the balancing act between letting things happen and making things happen. Yes, some of our successes tomorrow will be serendipitous, and some of our struggles will be things beyond our control. So why plan for tomorrow? Why make those strategic bets? Why not just see what tomorrow brings and play it by ear? Well, I know organizations who operate that way, and while they may believe that their one-day strategy is working just fine, their communities and stakeholders and donors and clients and beneficiaries are missing out on what could be. A one-day strategy is fine if you're actually accomplishing everything your mission calls for. But in the words of the great Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, what got you here won't get you there. If you aren't thinking about how your organization will meet tomorrow's challenges and thrive in tomorrow's environment, you're on a course to irrelevance if you're not already there. The 2-day strategy is a simple framework you can challenge your various teams with in your organization. Ask them to arrive at their 2-day strategy. To keep it simple, just list the 5 most important things on today's plate and then list the 5 most important things on tomorrow's horizon. Now, all of this is useless if it stops there. The big question is, how do we spend any of today's bandwidth on tomorrow's strategy? This is the critical question, because if we don't spend any of today's energy on tomorrow's goals, we truly never will reach tomorrow. Every day really simply will be today. We'll always be only focusing on the urgent things that we're facing right now, and this means we'll never be able to truly aspire and achieve greater things. So once you've identified the elements that go in each of the 2 days, spend time figuring out how you will begin addressing tomorrow's goals today. You can call it strategic planning. You can call it getting ahead of the curve. You can call it what Simon Sinek calls in his book, The Infinite Game, an existential flex. I'll let you look that one up. That's one leader's perspective for this week. As always, if you'd like to explore ways that the leader's perspective can help you or your organization achieve greater clarity, simplicity, or alignment in your work, you can reach out and schedule a free discovery call with me by clicking the link that's in the video description below this video. Also below is a link to our globally ranked top 10 podcast, The Leadership Window. Check us out and subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform. And speaking of subscribe, make sure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. And don't forget to also click the bell icon so that you're notified when new episodes arrive. And we'll see you here next time. Lead on.